Billboard Philippines. Volumes.
On this episode of Volumes, Lourd De Veyra joins the show and shares his insights on integrity and life lessons he has learned throughout his career. Let's turn up the volume on Lourd De Veyra.
Billboard Philippines. Volumes.
We are turning up the volume on your favorite artists. And of course, today on the show, this is Brett Jackson, and we have Lourd De Veyra. Of course, he is a musician, poet, journalist, and TV host. I'm actually excited to ask you about your poetry later, but personally, I'm a huge fan of Radioactive Circle Project. I heard you have a new band now I want to go into later, but today we're talking about life lessons. I'd like to ask how you started in your music career just to get things rolling.
Check out a big brains on Brett. How I got started.
Yeah.
Okay. I suppose it's something inescapable. It's genetic.
Yes.
My mother's a pianist. They're a family of 10, and more than half of that are musicians.
Yeah.
One of my uncles is a member of the Juan de la Cruz band,
Yes.
Mike Hanopol, but I guess I have better looks. You can cut that.
I don't know. We're keeping that for sure.
No. So I grew up in a household where everyone is playing music almost, except for my dad, who's a cop. Diba?
Interesting.
Brilliant combination.
Yeah.
You know? Musician and policeman.
Yeah.
There's always music playing. If it's not from the piano, it's the stereo. So it's natural probably. And it's something that we were all trying to escape, except that every weekend we were forced to take piano lessons, which I absolutely dreaded and hated.
Wait, your
It's
mom?
either that or the girls would be forced to study Hawaiian dance or ballet. There was a generation that was forced to do that. Those were your only options.
Was your mom the one teaching piano that time
No.
to you guys?
no,
It was
no.
someone else? Was she a
Someone
strict
else.
teacher?
That
What
someone
type?
else was not really strict, but strict in terms of now remembering those lessons.
Mm-mm.
It's really difficult to play with rhythm, but you're not allowed by the teacher to, move your body.
Yeah.
Like, diba, nag-rock, tapos, no, only the fingers should move. So it's from a classical training, which is not really conducive to groove or rhythm. And they really picked a terrible, terrible schedule. Like 3 or 4 in the afternoon of Saturday,
Okay.
when the cartoon was brilliant. So it was a time when you had no cable, you had no video recording capability. So what you missed in terms of, Saturday fun machine, you just have to rely on the narratives of your friends who are able to see it because they never took piano lessons. They were not forced to do that. My first band was actually with my younger brother, who's now a professional composer, musician, session bassist.
What was the name of that band?
Well, he used to play bass for this little band called Radioactive Circle Project.
Yeah.
Now he's doing film scores.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah. And he plays for a couple of bands. He plays bass for Brass Pass 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 Pass. I don't know how many passes that is, but I think there's 5, depending on the alcohol consumption level of certain members. And he has a band called Uncle Bob's Funky 7 Club.
So when you started this whole music journey, obviously poetry is really weaved into all the music you do and jazz. Why is that?
It's really weird, Brett, because it was not part of the agenda.
Okay.
Many writers start having interest in writing or literature, let's say, way back high school.
Yeah.
Mine came at second year college, which is relatively late.
Okay.
So it was not part of the agenda, and it did not come naturally. It's just one crazy moment where you're under this teacher who's really brilliant with her choice of words, with the way she presents certain literary topics. That takes away all the tedium, takes away all the boring stuff,
I love that.
and makes you confront how powerful and beautiful words can be without any agenda whatsoever.
Yeah.
The power of words in themselves, not the intention of these words.
Yeah.
The thing for what it is, not what's supposed to point to or what it represents. Labo, ano?
No, it's not.
But we in our lives, we always have that one kung fu master
Yeah. Agree.
that would change the way you view things. You think you're gonna go to law school, but no, go back to your parents and say, I want to be a writer.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing they support. So after college, I had a job at a newspaper. My course was journalism. So when I published my first book of poems, we were thinking of a way of promoting the book in a non-traditional manner, no? So what came to mind was, because my thesis in college was beat literature, so Jack Kerouac, all these 50s era American poets
Okay.
who were combining jazz with spoken word.
Awesome.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
If you've seen the film So I Married an Axe Murderer by Mike Myers, there's a scene there that pretty much sums up what it's trying to do. So San Francisco based, and there's a jazz quartet backing him up.
Mm-hmm.
These are lines that are not the typical lines from your published poems, but these are meant to be read or sung or recited, aloud to a crowd. So we tried to do that. Well, I tried doing that, but combining the aesthetics of, let's say, Quiapo or
Yeah.
Project 2, Project 3, Project 4. You try to marry that attitude with the attitude of the pedestrian Filipino.
Yes.
You mix it with the smoke coming from isaw being grilled on the corner and the monoxide haze covering the landscape. That's what I actually was attempting.
Yeah.
Whether it succeeds or not, who knows? So there.
I love that explanation, because I mean, just as a listener, I mean, I didn't grow up in Manila, but just hearing how fast paced and the beat of the music, and then hearing that's where it's coming from, it just makes so much more sense now, and you really put that together.
Mhm.
How important is integrity when you are writing?
Integrity. What do you mean by integrity?
Like, let's say you're putting this together and you're saying you became a writer, you are coming up with this music, and you're kind of taking a jump in your life. So when you're saying this, how important is integrity when you're doing this? Like, you're gonna put it in this direction because of what reasoning?
I'm not really sure if I can answer that, because that's a really loaded word, integrity. It probably comes when a simple matter, I just think of certain things as simple issues of problem solving.
Yeah.
Let's say you start with one line, and to connect that with the next line is the problem to be solved until you finish an entire piece based on that series of how do you solve this, how do you solve this, how do you solve this. Whether integrity comes when, this is a corny line, but when you listen to your muse.
Yes.
Now we all have different muses. Each of us will respond to our muse in different degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this muse may be telling you to compromise, but there's a part of you that says, no, this is what your muse is actually telling you. Whether you're actually listening to the muse or not will probably be, it reflects on the work. If there's an absolute lack of honesty in the work, it will show whether the creator is being true to himself or not.
Yes, I agree.
So that would be a result of problem solving that is attuned to the signals sent by the muse. Does that make sense? Not really. Okay. You're solving a problem. Let's say you're trying to finish a novel. A lot of people get sidetracked by a lot of things. They hate the title. They hate the character. They hate themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The aircon's not cold enough. I had too much beer tonight. I'll start working on it tomorrow until that tomorrow becomes the next tomorrow, the next tomorrow, the next tomorrow. The better approach to completing that task is increments. Okay, I will start with the title here. Good. At least I came up with something.
Yeah.
So next problem solved, until you finish something.
Yeah.
The muse comes when there's a prepared system inside you already, which is only possible when you responded to those little problems. So what has integrity got to do with it? It will come. If you're true to the muse, integrity will follow.
That's true. How important is, like you said earlier, you took everything that you were looking at to create your music and to create your sound and create your project. How important is keeping honest to yourself and keeping honest to what you're creating?
It's hard to explain, but it's a simple issue of instinct and feeling.
Yeah.
You know when the words that just came out of your mouth is BS.
Yep.
Or the notes that you played on your fretboard, or this is not you, or the drum beat that you're trying to move your body to is honest or not. No, it's you, and it's everything. Style is a reflection of every pore of your being. And every pore of your being is a combination of many, many factors. It's either you heard and it subconsciously sticks to your head,
Mhm.
or something you saw, or something you heard, or something you just casually read. But for some reason, it stuck to you, but without you actually realizing why that's important and why it stuck to you. Your output should represent who you are.
Yes.
And who you are is a combination of many things.
100%.
A great crime of many creators probably would be to try to censor themselves.
Yes.
Censoring yourself when you have so much to say, whether it's agreeable or disagreeable to a certain segment of the audience, is immaterial.
Yeah.
You just have to get it out there.
What would you say, like for artists that are coming out now, something that they should stick to? Or what do you feel about the new generation of artists that are out right now?
Okay, Brett, okay. My exposure to the newer bands, let's
What
say,
you're exposed
it's
to.
minimal. But from what I hear,
Mhm.
I am glad that these bands, these new producers, singers, songwriters, as far as I am concerned, or as far as my ears tell me,
Yeah.
they're more or less marching to their own, to the beat of their own drummers.
Yeah.
I say that because I have some reasons to compare. No, compare that when we were starting out.
Mhm.
These guys are working with complicated, let's say, chord structures, even without, let's say, in terms of guitar playing, the dirt pedal, they've shown it out. And in terms of production, these are 17, 16-year-old guys, and they're putting out songs songs with the sheen of that only, let's say, 40, 50-year-old producer from LA can do.
Yes.
So, and these are, young guys and girls working from their own bedroom,
Yeah.
recording an entire album with just a laptop
Yeah.
and this
All the
mixer
plugins.
that, my God, which on one hand, I would say dapat lang
Mhm.
because, with everything available to them, it would be a crime to shortchange, their capabilities.
True.
Galing.
I feel like I love what you're saying, that I love when artists are taking their surroundings and adding it to their music. And especially now that artists have the capability to even add more things to
Mhm.
to what they're doing
Mhm.
and have more access to it. We're getting to hear a lot of new music.
Yes.
Now, what would you like to see more of for the future of like Filipino music?
I would want some chaos to be returned.
Yes, let's
I
talk
would-
about that.
It's about time somebody brought back those, television sets flying out of hotel rooms.
Yes. Yes.
Everyone. So one time we were in a gig, and after probably 35 minutes to 1 hour, there was this horrible realization that it was only us, that our table, which means, old kuyas, we were the only ones drinking in that lineup,
Uh-huh.
and everyone's getting lemon water. And nobody's smoking. I'm not saying that they should kill themselves like their predecessors, but they probably discovered that the idea, that the Apollonian side is intellect, order, and Dionysian side is drunkenness, and it's that. It's the darker side of the persona that might help to explore, and you try to harvest from that, because a lot of the best artists are channeling their id, whether they like it or not, whether they're just talking about soft clouds and teddy bears. For all we know, they're actually talking about something darker.
Yeah. I was actually talking to Jason about your new project, Kapitan Kulam, and
What did he say?
he was saying that there's a lot more noise guitar and just like noise elements to it. Can you tell us more about this project?
My first love was actually the guitar. I never had any intentions of being a frontman of anything.
Yeah.
It's obvious that the spoken word thing is because I can't sing to save my life. No, what just so happened that my brother brought home a classmate, and it's one of those guys, and the first few chords or notes that they play, end of career for me. So, oh wow, young guy can play jazz guitar like a 45-year-old journeyman. So there's this author named Kurt Vonnegut who said that unexpected or unintended changes in life's itineraries are like dancing lessons from God. It's a brilliant metaphor,
So
the dance
good.
lesson, because in a dance lesson, all you have to do is to follow.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
And nothing forced. It's a dance lesson.
Mhm.
It's not like a dance lesson is trying to clobber you into submission to go this way and this way. You just go where it's trying to lead you. That's a dance lesson. Unexpected or unintended or sudden changes in life's itineraries are like dancing lessons from God. Ganda. So you go this way or you go this way. It's where it's leading you.
Yeah.
Mhm. It would probably be the equivalent of follow the Tao or Zen, whatever suits the listener or the viewer. Anyway, this band, although we tend to be the oldest in the lineup, in a let's say in a bar populated with teenagers who know you because my dad listens to your stuff, which is kind of flattering and painful at the same time.
for sure.
Yeah, it's a return to a fundamental love, basically, which is noisy guitar and an amplifier that is saturated in feedback is a thing of eternal beauty.
So true.
Mhm. It's like a television set flying out of a hotel room.
Yes, full circle. Oh, I love that.
Makes me think.
I guess before we wrap up today, we've touched on a lot of great points, early beginnings where words can be so much more chaos in the music scene, following the
We
dance of
talk
your
about
life,
mathematical chaos.
where you're going. For you, what do you see for like the future of your artistry? Where do you think it's going after this?
Oh, a lifetime of debt because the guitars and pedals are not getting any cheaper.
Yeah.
That's more. It's not meant to be a serious professional thing, although we approach it with utmost sincerity
Yeah.
and seriousness. But there's a huge difference between seriousness and solemn, between serious and solemn. Like guys like Woody Allen and the Three Stooges can be serious,
Yeah.
but they're never solemn. On the one hand, you would have some hack artist or writer or singer who takes himself or herself seriously,
Yeah.
but who's not serious. It's like that. You watch Succession.
Yes. Love
It's
that.
like what Logan Roy said to his kids. I love you guys, but you're not serious people.
Yeah. Through,
Serious, not solemn. Yes.
through everything, through your whole career, what can you say is one of the biggest life lessons you've taken away from everything?
Again,
Um,
I would quote Kurt Vonnegut, Dancing Lessons from God. Unexpected changes in life's itinerary are like dancing lessons from God. You go this way, you have no other choice but follow. I'm not religious, but there's a rhythm to the dance. And so far, let's see where the dance takes us. Whether to down the road of perdition, fine. Or the road of absolute chaos, better.
That's it. That's it. No, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Tito Brett.
Thank you. This has been Billboard Philippines Volumes. We're out.
Billboard Philippines.